Alright, so I'm doing a challenge trying to platinum every single LEGO game on the PS5 store before we hit 600,000 on YouTube. And there's only two left. LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 and LEGO Worlds. I chose to do LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 first and save LEGO Worlds for last because I have heard that LEGO Worlds is one of the worst LEGO games ever made. Also, if I can't do it before we hit 600k, then I get punished. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 trophy list contains 46 trophies inside, with a majority of them coming straight from levels completion. This is because the game has 20 main story levels and another 10 bonus levels. Today's gonna be a long day. So it opens up with you playing as the Guardians of the Galaxy because these LEGO superhero games are extremely general, and we will basically play as everyone in this game, all doing different missions that all tie into each other. Now that sounds like fun, but it actually ends up making the story feel very weird and mid.
That's what I'm saying.
For the first part of the game, the goal is to just find a way out of the ship so we can then go and help citizens from dying down below. After saving those citizens, we then get to jump back on the ship because the enemy is now also in the air. So I then proceeded to use God Aim and knock his ass out of commission. But then this giant robot thing just shows up, and I think we should just run away. Thankfully, the robot had the most obvious weak point ever, and if you just smash this thing, it will pretty much just make him useless. Low-key, that might be the most effective product I have ever seen. But then the level pretty much ends with the poor robot being sucked back into his reality where he has no friends. And also, it ends with a freeze screen every time you finish a level, which is super weird, but hey, we got the first trophy. Next part of the game had us in the Avengers Mansion, which is the makeshift base for today, and we had to do a dumb fetch mission before even starting the next main story level. God, I love TT games. They always fill me up with joy to the brim. But the next level had us playing as the She-Hulk, I think. Don't judge me if that's Gamora, they look the same. First, we had to find our way inside this building, and I am an idiot, so it took me forever, and I had to look up what to do because I am indeed that slow. But once inside, it then consisted of just a lot of fighting against these mind-controlled enemies, which is somewhat neat. But after beating up all of those men's meat, we then swap over to play as Iron Man and have to shut down all of these generators and also fight some underwater boss the entire time. I also did realize during this game that pretty much every single level you just fight a boss in, so that's something. Anyways, after that section, we also got to play as Spider-Man and fought Mysterio on this bridge. Now, the destruction of bridges is a sensitive topic right now in America, so I won't make fun of this bridge for also being destroyed, but it was. At the end of the Spider-Man section, though, we got to fight another boss, and this time it was... You know, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but that haircut is a banger. Actually, I think this might be Stan Lee. I then got some cutscenes because we just finished a load of activities, and then another trophy popped. The next mission then had us in Manhattan, and it was kind of mid, but basically we just swung around with Spider-Man, chasing down people in the air, you know, as you do. After that snooze fest, though, we got a real level and ended up inside of medieval England. Where is this game going? A question I still can't answer. Anyways, this level is pretty straightforward, but I struggle to understand the whole time reversing and forwarding aspect that was in the game a lot, actually. Basically, as Dr. Strange, you can make certain items age, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Once inside of the castle, though, we got confronted with the most calm medieval hallway. The level then ends with us battling knights, so it truly was a battle of class. And I also got a trophy for finishing it. Next level had us in some evil factory building Samsung phones, most likely. The place was so scary and confusing that I can't even remember what we did here, or why we did it. But it ended with us battling a white gorilla. Finally, equality. And yeah, that was it. Here's the trophy. Next up, I got to play as Star-Lord again, and sadly, Christopher Pratt didn't voice him, but that's okay because this level was pretty fun. Like, we got to ride on a World War II Hydra ship, so maybe we will even see some communists, you never know. This level's boss fight, though, was also against a man dressed in all red, and no, it wasn't Iron Man, but he was still hard. And that actually wasn't it for the level because we got to chase him down in a plane right after and had some aerial combat that surprisingly didn't suck. Congratulations, TT, you guys finally made a game with usable vehicles. I never thought I would see the day. Oh yeah, and here's that level's trophy. Next up, we arrived in the Wild West, which has relation to superheroes because they said so. I'm actually pretty certain not a single superhero in this game has ever actually been in the Wild West, but whatever. This level had us after MODOK also, just to make it even more confusing and random. MODOK, by the way, ended up getting beaten by Cox. First the memes, and now this. I don't know how he will ever recover. I recovered right away, though, and landed on a train to continue on with the level. God, I love a game with a train mission. A true staple of good games. And this train mission did indeed slap and wasn't confusing one bit, thankfully. In fact, it even ended with us just using a cannon right at MODOK and then watching as more Cox smother his body.
What did he say?
I don't know what I just said, but I feel regret. And here's the trophy. Thankfully, on the next mission, we got to play as Thor for like the first time ever and had an actually insane fight sequence surrounded by lava. This boss, by the way, only took me like 5 minutes to beat, and then I got another trophy. God, what a good mission, wasting nobody's time and getting straight to the point. I then played as Doctor Strange and had to find these 5 different mystical puzzles around the Avengers Mansion and solve them. Now, solving them isn't hard, but finding them to begin with was a bit of a challenge because they don't tell you where they are, since then it wouldn't be a challenge. Anyways, the worst one was in the attic, and we didn't even get to see good old Anne up here, so my disappointment is even more immeasurable than before. The ending of this level also had us boss battle someone because that is the only consistent thing in my life right now. But basically, it was this evil wizard guy, and I don't even know his name. L-side character moment. But here's the level's trophy. I then had to make a custom character to continue on with the story for some reason, so I did just that, and of course by doing it, I got a trophy for making a custom character. A true LEGO classic. I then had a super gloomy level where they just turned down the colors for some reason. Must have ran out of budget or something. Anyways, the ending boss fight had us battle the Kingpin, I think. Whoever this guy is, it doesn't matter because boy oh boy was this fight cancerous. The entire time this man spun around in circles in his car, just shooting out bullets and farting out fires from all directions. Now I understand the movement to electric vehicles. We all know if this man was in a Tesla, he wouldn't have done that. Oh yeah, and there's the level trophy. There was then a level inside the Iron Fist or whatever's temple. Now at first I was like, dang, this temple's boring as hell. But we ended up at the destination and had a boss fight against a dragon, so my opinions on the temple have indeed changed. It's safe to say this level was indeed fire. Get it? Oh my god! Anyways, look, a trophy. I then got to play as Spider-Man again because he is the best out of everyone here, and we even got to tickle Venom, so we are officially coming full circle in the multiverse now. This fight, by the way, was low-key crazy, and I don't even see why they made a Spider-Man 2 game with how much this slapped. Obviously, after the level finished, though, I got a trophy. Next, we then returned to play as the Guardians of the Galaxy and had a short little tussle with Ronan. Now, this guy in the movies was terrifying as a young boy watching it, but in the game, he got punched to death in like 10 minutes, including his added-on backup to help him, so yeah, they nerfed him, and I got a trophy. There was then this long-ass level where I did a lot of puzzles and fought a boss I have never heard of once, and here's the trophy. I then had a level right after where I fought another boss that I had no idea who it even is, but it was pretty much just a giant face. Head go crazy, no cap. And yeah, there's the level's trophy. I also got thrown into a Coliseum. Now, we all know what happens in Coliseums with those Romans, and we just fought and fought. In fact, I've never seen more fighting in my life except for white moms at middle school basketball games. Anyways, this level's boss was actually a snake, so yeah, I don't know why, but once I beat it, I also got a trophy. Next up, I had a super long underwater level that is probably one of my least favorite out of them all. Not only because it's underwater and that's annoying, but also because pretty much nothing happens the entire time and you just travel at rush hour pace through these tunnels. But hey, a trophy is a trophy, so I can't complain. After that, there was an equally annoying level, if not more, where it was literally just puzzles in maze format inside of some Egyptian pyramid. So yeah, it does end with a boss fight though, of course. In fact, the chance of there not being one at this point is pretty much 0, but another trophy is always guaranteed. And the next level had yet again another annoying objective of, you know, cleaning the Avengers house. And honestly, I don't even know what we were trying to accomplish with this one, but it ends with a fight, and this is one of the worst fights in the game. You have to defend Doctor Strange from the incoming attackers, but for like 90% of the fight, you can't really stop them because the game makes them attack and do damage. L game, but W trophy. The last 2 levels are finally here, and the first has us on a ship fighting this evil big pink guy, and then the last level has us on a ship again, and to be honest, it's probably the same ship. But we fight Kang the Conqueror, who has been this game's main villain, I guess. Honestly, I don't know, the story is so bad, but the fight is also bad if you're wondering, and low-key anticlimactic. Like, this entire thing is all inside this room and nothing cool happens until we get cutscenes and see more mass destruction. Overall, 5 out of 10 story. That was genuinely the definition of mid. Alright, so now it's time for the worst part of this insanely elongated out platinum trophy, the open world collectibles. There is an unholy amount of these, and they span across the entire map, containing puzzles, which are just gold bricks, and then some races and also quests that people give you. The only good thing about these is that since the game has been out for a while, I didn't really run into any major bugs aside from my character just not working sometimes, but a restart always fixed it. The first trophy I got during my time here in this hell was one for just accidentally using multiple different Captain America characters at the same time. So no, not for doing any of the infinite amount of objectives. No, just for using the character. I am now sad and depressed. But hours upon hours later, I did manage to finish these all up, and I didn't include any of the grind for these because it's extremely boring. But I finished every single race right here. And I gotta say, the racing in this game is actually good, in terms of me being able to do nearly every single one first try and not raging too much. So yeah, I then completed every quest in Chronopolis, which there was a few hidden ones at the end, but you have to complete challenges to unlock a few here and there. And that is actually the only trophy I got from doing these open world collectibles right now. Next thing I went for was a Gwenpool bonus level. And once you complete the first this one, you will also get Gwenpool as a playable character and a trophy. I then returned back to the open world because I remember I still had like over 10 challenges to do. These both unlock vehicles for you and also other missions. But after finishing this one right here, I got a trophy for completing 10 challenges total in the game. By the way, there is 24 of these, I'm pretty sure. That might be wrong, but it's somewhere around there. And some of them actually suck to do. So shout out to those guide YouTubers from years ago. Love you all very much. Anyways, you also don't get another trophy for doing them. So that's a little bit weird. In fact, I feel slightly blue-balled right now, so this sucks. And the next stage is to now go and get every single collectible in every single level now that I am done with the open world. Overall, these aren't too hard to do, but Jesus Christ, the game has 30 levels in it, so you gotta go through the same process 30 times, and it's actually exhausting. I did get a trophy right here during the process, though, for accidentally using Groot and Baby Groot at once. And the next one I got was for getting True Believer on every single level in the game, which on that same level was followed closely after with every single stand in peril. Sadly, though, I missed the very last mini-kit of the game during this boss fight because I was unaware that it ended right after you turn the portal a certain direction, whereas if you turn it the other way, the mini-kit comes out like a wet fart. I hate this game. Okay, so now the only trophies I have left are mostly random character ones as portrayed right here when I'm speaking and yapping more. And then I had a few kill trophies and a few level-specific trophies. First, though, I made 5 people dance at once with Star-Lord, and I found the easiest way to do this was to go work the corner like your stepmom used to do. In fact, I think that's how your parents met. I then replayed a level and had to use a certain squad of rejects on it all at once, but once I got everyone together, the trophy popped. I then took a break from the randomness and looked at every single mini-kit in the game for a trophy, and I also played through the Infinity Stone Gauntlet minigame that was in the game. Basically, you just gotta play it through and the trophy will pop. After that, it also gave me my last character, and once purchased, another trophy pops. So I then had 100% completion, and I decided to go do the stud fountain nearby in order to receive that trophy. Next, I had to go back to the first level in the game and play it all the way through until the boss fight, just so I could take a selfie with the guy. Honestly, disrespect, but I respect it. While in the boss fight, by the way, I decided to farm both the kill trophies I had left. First was just 30 with some knight guy, and then I had to get 100 with the Hulk Ragnarok variant, which actually took a little while and was a bit annoying. My second to last trophy then had me play a specific bonus level as Fin Fam Foon or something, and I chose him as my character, so the second I loaded in, I got the trophy pop. And then the glorious final trophy. Basically, I had to destroy 100 vehicles in the game, so I pretty much committed mass terrorism, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, there's the trophy pop for it, followed by the platinum right after. So that was the LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 Platinum Trophy experience. Overall, the game isn't that great, and the only thing that's really good about it is the fact that it's newer and well made. Like, if this was a game from before 2010 and it didn't work, then it would be so much more painful. Anyways, next video is the finale of this challenge, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you then.